Alright, what's going on, y'all? Shabbat Shalom. Alright. Alright, so this day I'll just go on with a little small prayer. Shema Shema, Yisrael, Yeshraya. Gadol Abelahinu, Gadol Abachad, Baruch Shem Kavod Mavakut, La'olam Ed. Let me go in. Baruch Ath Gadol, Badon Ha'olami Malahinu, Baruch Hu La'olam Ed. Asher Mismanu, Lanatra Hayadim, Walamikwa. Alright. So we'll start with those two. Cleansing of Modingani Lifaneka, Melet Chayi Bachem, Shehekazati Benishpata, Bekamla Rabai Montaka. Alright, so these three I like to go in with. The Shabbat Or is always said in the night, the Sabbath Or, lighting of the Sabbath candle. Alright, so now that we went in with those small little prayers, it's ritualistic prayers, so it's not that big of a deal to say those online. Your personal prayers you can say personally. The ritualistic prayers are good to say online, okay to say online, something that everybody must say. Anyway, but that's to get this rolling. All right, get the lights on. All right, so I had a meta encounter, a couple of them, and there were people that were shocked. Channing Tatum, I saw some celebrities. Channing Tatum, who played on Save the Last Dance, or whatever. I saw him. He was shocked that I teleported. It was all about teleporting. Nobody could teleport out of these places that they were in, but I did. There's no possible way you can teleport out of here. Last person I saw was my sister, Kylie Jenner. We were in the food court, whatever the case. And after I do these scriptures, I'll continue that meta. All right, what that encounter was about. All right, but we'll start here. Yeram Yehu, Jeremiah. All right, chapter 17, starting at verse 7, and it says this. Blessed is the man, benevolent is the man that trusts in Yahweh, and whose hope is... Sorry, let me get my eyes. My eyes are messed up a little bit, partially blind. Let me say that one more time. Blessed or benevolent is the man that trusteth or trusts in Yahweh, and whose hope Yahweh is. All right, so blessed is the man. Increased be the man that trusts in Yahweh. All right, so who do we pin trust on? Who do we put trust in? The Most High. All right, so blessed is the man who trusts in Yahweh and whose hope Yahweh is. Next one we'll go to is Ecclesiasticus 33. 3. Funny. 333. Alright, so if you're going to say 33, well, 33 to me is not masonry. It would be this. A man of understanding trusts in the law, the Torah, and the Torah is faithful to him as an oracle. Alright? So, what would be my 33? Y'all's is masonry. My 33 would be the oracle of the Most High, which is the Torah. The living Torah. She speaks. The oracle speaks the Torah in your mind, in your heart. Okay, so that when you read the Torah, she helps you understand it. When you have a pure heart, and when your cultural understanding of the Torah is clean, like you could have a spell on you. So once you cleanse those spells out of you, you can now see the Torah and hear the oracle and understand what she's trying to say. Now, you need that oracle because people can read the Torah all day long, like I was saying, and have different understandings of it. And you can trust in your own understanding. Lean not towards your own understanding. But a man of understanding trusts in the Torah, And the Torah is faithful to him as an oracle. So the oracle is who is you're leaning on. Lean not on your own understanding, but lean on the understanding that comes from the oracle that teaches you the Torah. So we're both reading the Torah. You're leaning on your own understanding. I'm leaning on the oracle. All right. So that kind of want to give a pure side to this 33 thing. You got your Illuminati, your Mason, trying to destroy this shit or make sides to this shit because, sorry, I'm cursing and stuff, but it's something to curse. That bullshit. It's something to make sides about or to destroy because people in the industry and 33 scares them, like numbers and 33 and Mason, stuff scares them. But there's always not gonna say always, but there's a pure side to a lot of things. All right. So you want to say 33. So let's actually read that from 1 to 3. All right. So 33, 1 to 3. There shall no evil happen to him that fears Yahweh or respects Yahweh, but in temptation, even again, he will deliver him. All right. There shall no evil happen. So there will no evil will happen to him that fears the Most High. Okay. You fear the Creator. If you're afraid of demons and devils and people and 33rd degree Masons and Illuminati, if you're afraid of people and demons and devils and stuff, things might happen to you. Evil will happen to you. I'm your man named Timothy and shit. He's the Dune king and shit. The king of the zombies and shit. So you're afraid of him, evil will happen to you. There shall no evil happen to him that fears Yah, but in temptation, even again, he will deliver him. So no matter, even if he will get you through, he will get you through. Even if you submit it to you in the midst of it and the burn and all of that stuff, and it gets you, and you like, damn man, he'll still deliver you. Like, yeah, I know that was kind of hard. That was, your bag was boiling, shorty. It was no way possible that you was gonna resist that, boy. Your bag was boiling too hard and it popped. I got you. Whether you pop or don't pop, that burn he saved you from. All right, it's not always that people is like, you super powerful and shit, you can resist everything. I'm a straight ass man deprived of sex since 2019. Ain't had no sex. I got girls twerking and all kind of showing that pussy and all that shit in my face. I'm supposed to be able to be strong enough to resist that. I can try to give an avenue to get away from it, but if I don't have an avenue to get away from it, I'm gonna pop, and then still he's gonna deliver me. You can't do that to a man, Make him hold his sperm all his life. He's going to pop. Verse 2. A wise man hates not the Torah, but he that is an hypocrite therein is as a ship in a storm. All right? He that is a hypocrite. So they are hypocrites. That's why I'm saying it. It's people that teach the Torah, but they're hypocrites. They teach it, but then right after they teach you that what that says, they make up some shit as to why they can't do that or why that's not able to be done. The law's done away with, but then they saw something they liked and was like, well, accept that part and shit. Or they saw something that they felt they couldn't do. Oh, I can't do that part though, but we can do other parts, or the law. They be saying crazy shit. Okay? Again, a man of understanding trusts in the law and the Torah, and the Torah is faithful to him as an oracle. All right. So, and the rest of it is a good read if you want to read that on your spare time. But I just wanted to get to the 3. 33, 3. 333. If you're going to 33 me, there's only 33 I'm accepting here. Ecclesiasticus. Okay? One of the writings of Melech Shlomo. All right? King Solomon, as you call him. 33, 3. 333. That's all I'm accepting. All right? Now I want to go to 1 Corinthians 11. All right. So, wait. That's not what I was looking for. Sorry. Then I want to go here. Jeremiah Yeramyahu chapter 17 verse 5. Thus says Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusts or trusteth in man, and makes flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth or departs from Yahweh. All right. So, thus says Yah. This is what the Creator says. Thus says the Creator, Yah. Cursed be the man that trusts in man, and makes flesh his arm, and whose heart departs from Yahweh. All right. So 3 things. That trust in man, you make flesh your arm, you only trust in what you can do, the power of a man, and whose heart departs. Like, it's always in whose heart departs from the Most High. You no longer serve the Most High. Don't trust in these people. You're cursed if you trust in these different things. A man, the flesh of his arm, and someone that departs from Yah, or even you. Whatever the case. Now, what this is not saying, we'll get into in a minute, is not saying that you can't trust someone, but it's saying don't put your trust in. Cursed be the man that trusts in man. I'm not the Creator. It's like you're trusting in me, like I'm God. I'm the Most High. You worshiping me like I'm the creator. I'm not the creator. I'm a man. I die. Okay, don't put your trust in someone that dies. Put your trust in the Most High. He's everlasting. He's eternal. Okay, I'm flesh. Don't make flesh your arm. Don't make flesh your strength, your source of strength, and whose heart departs from Yahweh. Okay, and people, especially people who don't serve the Most High, don't put your trust in these people. But with the saying, don't put your trust in this stuff. But we'll give a more specific understanding. All right, so that's a curse there. So what is it not saying? All right, let's go into that, back to that. 1 Corinthians 7:1. Now concerning the things whereof you wrote to me, it is good for a man not to. Hold on, sorry, wrong one. My bad. That's the next one I'm going to go into. My bad. 11. All right. Be you followers of me, even as I also am of the Messiah. All right, the Messiah. Christ is a misnomer. It should not be Christ there. That is a Greek term. That is a Greek god. So somebody put that gods in our stuff and perverted you. So you call on Greek gods. So this should not be there. Greek god should not be who we calling on. All right. There's no conversion or translation of gods and stuff. No. Be you followers of me, even as I also am of Messiah. First thing it tells you before he goes in. Talking about the head of every man is the Messiah, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of the Messiah is, Elohim, the Most High. So it's giving you the hierarchy here. So in one sense, it's saying don't put your trust in man. But here he's saying, be you followers of me, even as I also am Messiah. So it's not saying you can't follow people or you can't trust people to be with them, to trust what they say, to trust where they'll lead you or guide you. That's what it's saying. People out here you can trust to lead you to the Most High Yah. That's what made that last statement. So, as he was saying, be you followers of me, even as I am of the Messiah. Oh my goodness. So, that's what he's saying. Be you followers of me, even as I am of the Messiah. All right? Because why? His heart, verse 5 at the end, and whose heart departs from Yahweh. Because the person that you're following has a heart that did not depart from the Most High Yah. So you follow people whose heart is not departed from the Most High Yah. In word, in deed, character. Okay? But cursed be the man that trusts in man. All right? You trust in a man off top. Okay? And makes flesh his arm. You trust in the power of what men can do, and whose heart departs from Yahweh, and men who depart from the Most High. That's the last thing. Okay, this is a man of God right here. I can trust him though, but his heart departed from the Most High Yah. He'll mislead you or misguide you. So that's what Reb Shaul was saying, as you call Apostle Paul. Reb Shaul was saying that be you followers of me. Be you followers of me, even as I am of the Messiah. All right? So it's not saying anything about trusting people. Who you could put trust in. Who can you pin trust in? Pinterest. Who can you Pinterest in? You make that a thing. Pinterest. Put the new thing up. I'm about to get a Pinterest. So I'm like, who can you pin trust on? I'm going to get a Pinterest and put my face up there. Be the face of Pinterest. Anyway, but who can you put trust on? Or who can you rely on? Who can you rely on to give you life, and who to tell you the truth, to lead you to the Most High Creator, not lead you to himself. All right. So that was the first thing I wanted to say. And that's for Kylie, after this meta encounter we had. Who can you put trust on? Who can you trust to lead you to the Most High? So I'm there letting her know it was me. You can put trust on me. Pinterest. And I was like, use Pinterest. Trying to tell her you can put trust in me. And I realized what her fears was. She's afraid of dreams. Or metaphysical encounters. So she based her life off of the fear of what people do to her in metaphysical encounters and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that's your issue. You're afraid of metaphysical encounters. Like, people, and, that's what she's afraid of. I'm like, okay, so we at the food court, and I'm seeing her, and I'm like, okay, There's a lot of gore going on here, a lot of monster stuff going on here, and you're afraid of all of this stuff or whatever. Okay. Let me help her with that. Pen trust. This is going to be 1 Corinthians 7. All right, this is a nice little read here. We're going to go into this. All right. So who can you pin trust on? And how do you pin trust on someone? Just trust someone? But what is the process of that? So let's go into this. And then we'll also give you gems and jewels and help you understand. All right, 1 Corinthians, Corinthian, chapter 7. 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Sorry, y'all. Now concerning the things whereof you wrote to me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Already it sound gay, right? Sound gay. Who translated this? It's good for a man not to touch a woman. It's sounding gay already. What is he saying? What's happening in this time? Okay, there's a siege. The Romans are basically preparing to siege Jerusalem. So there's a lot of oppression, the deprivation, it's a lot of stuff going on there. So it's like the Jewish people oppressing the Palestinians. It's going to be hard for you because eventually what happened? They started getting bombed. So it's some crazy stuff going on here. It's not a peaceful time. All right, the Romans are at the gates of Jerusalem, preparing themselves to break in here and destroy everything and burn down the temple and all of that stuff. Okay, so he's saying already coming off. Now concerning the things whereof you wrote to me. So they wrote some things to him. Another thing, first thing to notice, they wrote to him. What did they write to him? Whatever they wrote to him, this is what he's talking about. So this is not concerning an overall commandment of this is what he's commanding everybody to do from what the Most High says. This is just something that they wrote to him. We don't have the letter. What was the letter? So 1 Corinthians 7, like what is the letter of 1 Corinthians? Somebody need to bring that out. The letter of 1 Corinthians. The response and the reply. This is the reply to what they sent to him. It is good for a man not to touch a woman. Dang, already it sounds gay, but you don't know what they wrote to him in the letter. So let's continue on and decipher this. Verse 2. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, forbidden sex, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Okay? So don't be just doing this orgy shit, and all this bullshit. I can keep my wife, but I can give my wife to him, and this, and then, my wife is not a believer, but this, they confused. Like, my wife don't trust in the Most High, but what do I do and all of this stuff? All kind of stuff is going on, and it's going to cause fornication. You being with your wife, and then you be with another woman that, believe in the Most High or don't believe in the Most High, but you still want to keep, and then it's like, it's fornication now. I'm not going to leave my husband, or my husband don't want me to leave him, but I don't believe in Shinto like he do anymore. I believe in the Most High, so I want to be with this man, and then you do it. And so it's like he not letting you go, but he's holding you back from the stuff like that. So now you commit fornication, which is adultery, forbidden sex acts. So stuff like that. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Verse 3. Let the husband render to the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife to the husband. All right. The wife has not power of her own body, but the husband, and likewise also the husband has not power of his own body, but the wife. Sorry, the husband has. Sorry, has. Half me has. My bad. So the wife has no power, of her own body, and the husband has no power of his own body, but they have power over each other. You're responsible for each other. You control each other. So if a woman is talking about she want to control a man, the proper way to do that is have a husband, but it would have to be in purity. You're helping each other. You're aiding and guiding each other. You're looking out for each other. Not just necessarily saying, I want control and power. But you do have a sense of power over your husband. So when you get married, that is the proper way to have a man cater to you. The proper way. But it's also a two-way street. You cater to each other. So if he tell you to do something, you doing it. If you tell him to do something, he doing it. People have a one-way mind with this. The men can do what they want to do and can't listen to their wives or some bullshit they be thinking. But this is the proper way. This is the proper way. When you get married, the husband and the wife are submitted to each other. They must listen to each other. They subject themselves to each other. Okay? They pin each other. You trust in each other, then you pin each other down in a way. Pinterest. Anyway, verse 5. Defraud you not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that you may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Shaitan tempt you not for your incontinency. So it's letting you know here, defraud you not one another. Don't meaning stop refraining from each other. Stop holding each other back. That's fraudulent. Like not letting your husband have sex and shit like that. You rather masturbate, or you rather do this or do that. You're withholding yourself from your spouse. That is evil to do. Okay, except it be with consent for a time. So I say the feasts are coming up. Okay, the feasts are coming up, or Yom Kippur is coming up. Okay, Yom Kippur means we must fast and pray. Okay, so accept these special days and special moments where you fast and pray, feast times and stuff. 3 days before the feast of Pesach, you must refrain. Okay, you must refrain. You must refrain 3 days before, and then the first day and then the last day you refrain because there's a holy convocation. But within the midst of the feast, you can be intimate and stuff like that. But 3 days before the first day and also the last day of Pesach and unleavened bread. The same goes with all of the other feasts, Sukkot and stuff. You must 3 days before prepare yourself. The first and the last day, it's a holy convocation. But within that week, you can be intimate. So it's letting you know when these special times come, the feast days come around, you fast and pray and refrain. And also just if you just need a break, you just take time away, connect to the Most High. You're feeling disconnected. Connect to the Most High. Don't be brutes. Don't be lustful, extremely lustful and stuff. Don't have lust issues. Verse 6, but I speak this by permission and not of commandment. So, also again, he's saying this is by permission, but not of commandment, what he's about to say. For I would that all men were even as I myself. But every man has his proper gift of Elohim, one after this manner, and another after that. All right. So he's about to tell him something. He would rather you be alone, but he's preparing you for it. I say therefore to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I. What is wrong? What is going on with Shaul? How is he abiding? That we must abide even as he. He's alone and single. Okay? He's not married. He's just doing the work of the Most High. All right? It's a lot of also other things to factor in, like age and stuff like that. But he's alone. He's not married. I say therefore to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I. Okay, widows were married before, but they're no longer married. It depends on the age of the widow, if she should abide as him, or those that are unmarried. You don't know their age could be young or old. They could abide as him. So it could be a thing where he could be talking to elderly people, or he really could be talking to elderly people, but this can apply to younger people too. But he's saying that I would have rather you abide as I, if you're too old. That's what I would assume. But not to assume, just keep it simple. I say therefore to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I. But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn. I always talk about pussies burning, Lake Placid, Vajacid, and then you got Fire Dick, this is Amazon Amazing Fire Dick, Amazon Fire Dicks, and Lake Placid Vajacids, is when they're burning, you're burning for love, you're burning for marriage and things like that, you're burning for intimacy. Okay, yeah, you're burning to do it the right way, but you're burning for it, So, okay, even if you're just burning to have sex, okay, you want to do it through marriage, you don't want to just be out there, so you want to do it the right way. But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn. So if you full of lust, it's still better to marry than to burn. And now you're doing whatever the fuck. Your pussy's burning and shit. You can't stop, whatever the case. Verse 10. And to the married I command, but to the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord. Let not the wife depart from her husband. So he's basically, and to the married, the Most High is basically saying, don't depart from your husband. It's not something that he's making up. Don't depart from your husband. Don't divorce. Now, we're going to get deep into this. Why we're going to say all of this stuff is because the times you're living in. So he's approaching you with the marriage first. If you're having issues and stuff, get married, da 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 da. But he's gonna give it to you, and we're gonna break it down in a minute. Let not the wife depart from her husband. The vows are above the divorce. Don't get married with the expectation to get divorced, or with that thought of getting divorced, or else don't get married if you're not sure. Verse 11. But if she depart, let her remain unmarried. All right, but women is crazy, men is crazy. If they depart treacherously, just run away from you and shit like that, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband. So you get married, whatever the case, your wife leave your ass and shit like that, it's better to stay unmarried. It's better for her to stay unmarried or be reconciled to your husband. It's another reason why this is happening like this. And let not the husband put away his wife. So it's another reason. Unbelief and belief is happening here. You're not seeing eye to eye. You're married, but you trust in the Most High. So you want to depart, from your husband and shit, or you want to depart from your wife, then it's best to remain unmarried, or be reconciled to your, previous spouse if they come together or start to serve the Most High with you. You know how it be. You leave your husband, the husband want to come to church all of a sudden, but he really not genuinely in the church for real. He just in the church because of you. Type shit. Anyway, but if it's genuine, reconcile with each other. Verse 12. But to the rest I speak, I, not the Lord. If any brother have a wife, or if any brother has a wife that believes not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. Now the reason why he's saying I speak this, not the Lord, is because he's understanding a special case here. Now, special cases are this. The strict version was that. But this is a special case. This is a new thing to you, about the Messiah and the Savior. This is a new thing for you. But I would rather you stay with your wife if she does not. Sorry, I would rather you stay with your wife if she's pleased to be with you while you trust in the Most High. She's not having a hard time. You know how you're serving the Most High, and she's not having a hard time with it. Like, it's not making life hard for her, or it's not strenuous to her. You talking about the Most High and teaching the things of the Most High, teaching the commandments and stuff like that. It's not hard on her. It's not straining her, stressing her out. So if any brother has a wife that believes not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. Don't put her away because she's okay with you serving the Most High. It's not fucking her up and shit like that. She's not ready to hurt you and divorce you and shit like that. She's like, okay, I'm understanding this and stuff. This is making sense. She's coming around or something like that. Don't put her away. Verse 13. And the woman which has a husband that believes not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. Because he's coming around. It's making sense. Like, this ain't no church stuff right here. This ain't no shut up, speaking in tongues bullshit, pass the collection plate shit. This is really some teaching here. It's making sense. It's making sense. Keep learning. I'm learning too. Like, I might come around. I'm understanding. So don't leave your husband because he's coming around. Okay? But that's not a command of the Most High. That's what I'm saying. It's not a command. It's just a suggestion in a special case. If you don't want to leave your husband, you don't want to leave your wife, you really love them, go with it. If it's not hard on them, it's not straining them and stuff. But typically, you can just leave, whatever the case. But it's best to stay unmarried than to try to marry again to somebody that's a believer. But whatever the case, even I would say that's not in the scriptures. If you have a husband, and he's homosexual, leave his ass. Straight up, I would say just leave his ass and be with someone else. If you want to come to the Most High, your husband gay and shit like that, leave him. Go be with another man. Okay? For real. But in other cases, your husband just might not believe that belief system. He followed the Greek gods, and so he might be coming around because what you're saying and how you're living and stuff. All right, verse 14. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now they are holy. All right, so it's like You're dirty, your husband is dirty, or your wife is dirty, and you're the shower. Just staying with your husband or with your wife is giving them a shower, is giving them a bath. Just being with them. They're going to get dirty again in their heart, but you keep giving them a shower all the time. Showering them, showering them, showering them, keeping them clean. You're just always clean. So the children stay clean by you staying with the husband, and then you staying with the wife, the children stay clean by you keep giving them showers and shit. You know, every time you come in the house, it's some zombie dirty shit on them and shit. Shower them up, clean them up. All right, then it's all right, we good. You know, they okay to be with you still. They're starting to learn and understand. And then the day comes where they might say, I want to dedicate and serve this Most High Yah with you. And when they come into covenant, then they become a shower too. So you have a lot of situations like that in America today. People are with each other, but they don't believe the same things. You're dirty, but if I serve the Most High and I'm already married to you, or whatever, and I came around, then now I'm the shower. I'm not gonna leave you because we was together married, fucked up. I'm just gonna leave you because I caught on and you didn't catch on. I'm gonna give you a chance. And there's a time limit to that chance and stuff. It's normally a year time frame for your husband or wife to get it together, you know. But if they're not getting it together, that time frame is 1 year. You know, but if you have that husband or wife coming around and they really genuinely coming around, you can tell that they starting to, okay, this is making sense, and do you see them ready to give their heart to the Most High? Yeah, you don't put a time on that. You just let them get it. But those who are not coming around, give them that 1 year time frame. You know, like, yo, you just not getting it. You not who? Why you want to keep serving the Most High? You just always cringing at the fact you serving the Most High Yah. You give them 1 whole year, then cut them off. Cut them. Then he's gonna bring you down. Anyway, verse 14. Sorry, I said it. So sorry, verse 15. But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. A brother or sister is not under bondage in such cases, but Yah has called us to peace. That's what I'm saying. If you're unbelieving, your husband or wife is unbelieving, and they okay to please to dwell with you, don't let them go because they try and get it. But if they leave because they can't handle you serving the Most High Yah, fuck it, let them depart. You're not under bondage. Meaning this does not count it as adultery. It's not counted as you moving on and it's an adulterous act. You know, if your husband is gay or something like that, it's not counted as you kissing on another man, having sex with another man like me. It's not counted as adultery. But if the unbelieving depart, okay, he's homosexual, you don't trust the Most High Yah. It says, you know, a man must not lie with a man as he lie with a woman. He left you because he don't like that part. Let him depart. A brother or sister is not under bondage in such cases, but Yah has called us to peace. You're not under bondage. Let him go. The fuck out of here. All right, fine. Go and do you and shit. Go be with the new person that trusts the Most High, and let them be with somebody that's with the lifestyle that they with. You're not in a bond. Don't feel trapped up. Verse 16. For what know you, O wife, whether you shall save your husband? Or how know you, O man, whether you shall save your wife? Like, how you know if you're going to save your wife or not and shit? You know? But the Most High has called us to peace. You know, let them go. You know, because as they were still with you, how would you know if you were going to save them or not? You know, how do you know you're going to be able to save them? No matter which way you look at it, how do you know you could save them or not? Or how do you know that they really, you know, how do you know you're going to be able to save them? Let them leave. You still want to run after them and hold them. How do you know they're going to really come around and shit? Don't waste time. You already gave them 1 year. Don't waste time. Okay, that 1 year is up. Let them go. How you know just because you want to extend time, they're going to come around? You gave them 1 year. Let them go. Or you go. Okay, so for how do you know, O wife, whether you will save your husband? Or how know you, O man, whether you will save your wife? How you know you're going to save your wife? How you know you're going to save your husband if you give him more time? You gave him 1 year. Fuck. Verse 17. But as Yah has distributed to every man, as Yah has called everyone, so let him walk. And so ordain I in all churches, or all assemblies, all kahalim, you know, all assemblies. But as Elohim has distributed to every man, as Yah has called everyone, so let him walk. So he's not putting too much burden on you. He would rather you be serving the Most High alone, you know, without, you know, the issue of marriage, because then when you're married, you're worried about each other. But, you know, Yeah, we'll get into that later further down. All right, so if you can stay alone, stay alone. If you can't and you're burning, you want to be married, then be married. You're not sinning in that. Verse 18. Is any man called being circumcised? Let him not become uncircumcised. Is any called an uncircumcision? Let him not be circumcised. All right, circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is nothing, but the keeping of the commandments of Elohim. Now, what he's saying? What is he saying here? Because this sounds stupid as shit. Is any man called being circumcised? Let him not become uncircumcised. Is any called an uncircumcision? Let him not be circumcised. It's not talking about the flesh. It's not talking about the flesh in this part. Because why is it saying, is any man called being circumcised? Let him not become uncircumcised. Is any called in uncircumcision? Let him not be circumcised. It's saying it's talking about the same thing from up here. If you believe or don't believe. Okay, but if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. Okay, that's what it's saying. If you don't believe, don't ask him to come and believe. If you believe, okay, don't tell him not to believe. Okay, I'm already circumcised. I'm already good. You not good. You know what I'm saying? Stop trying to make me not be good and shit. You need to come back to do what we, stop doing that. I'm already good. I'm already clean. I'm already living right. Why would I, be with this woman that's not living right to fuck myself up? You not living right. Why would you be with this woman she living right and fuck yourself up and fuck her up just being together? Okay? Stop asking each other to submit to each other's ways. Verse 19, circumcision is nothing and uncircumcision is nothing, but the keeping of the commandments of Yah. All right? So, regardless of the situation, married, not married, unbelieving, not believing, the only thing that matters is you keeping the commandments of the Most High. That's all that really matters. All right? Verse 20, let every man abide in the same calling wherein he was called. See? The calling. Abide in the calling you were called. If the Most High was calling you, go with the Most High. He's calling you. If you're not called by the Most High, okay, let that person do them. Your whole life you was with this person, they just not coming around. I known this person for 20 years. They just not coming around. Right? They not coming around. They lived an uncircumcised life their whole life. You live in a circumcised life, and it's like, damn, 20 years in the past, they like the fuck. Let every man abide in the same calling where he was called. You wasn't called to do the same thing in life. They don't want to come around. They want to do them. Even families be splitting up like that. They want to do some other shit. You want to serve the Most High. First time you starting to feel that splitting shit. You just not getting it. How they not getting it. So don't waste your time, man. Verse 21. Are you called being a servant? Care not for it. But if you may be made free, use it rather. All right, so if you're called being a servant, care not for it. But if you may be made free, use it rather. All right, I'm not going to speculate that one. Verse 22, for he that is called in Yah, being a servant, is the Lord's free man. Likewise, also he that is called being free is the Messiah's servant. All right, so, okay, you come to serve the Most High, you're actually free. You're free from all of the evil shit like that, but you're bound to holiness, holy work. You're bound to do holy work. Now, it's all about your desire. If that's what you desire, then it's not a problem to be a servant of the Messiah, to be bound to holy work and holy things, holy character, holy reputation, to be pure. It's not a burden for you. It's not hard for you because this is your calling, right? But, so you're free, but you are now a servant of the Messiah, to be holy. Now, anybody else, it would be bondage for them. They will not feel free, So, in a sense, you are free because this is what you want. So now you're a free person. All right. Verse 23. You are bought with a price. Be not you the servants of men. All right. So there's got to be something you really desire, to live a holy life. Then you'll feel free to be able to live holy, getting away from unholy people and being around holy people. You feel free and shit. But if not, you don't feel free. You feel in bondage and trapped up. You can't live right. You can't do the feast. You can't keep the Sabbath day. You can't talk, you feel fucked up. You want to get away from the person. It's really like that out here. People be with people that don't want to live right, and they be holding them down. Especially husbands. Men, they'll hold their wives down all day. They want to live right and be holy. They'll hold their wives down. Don't want them to go to church. Don't want them to listen to the church pastor and stuff like that. But like me, you don't want your wife to listen to me. You don't want her to change. You don't want her to, why you da-da-da. She's not in bondage in that situation. You don't want her to live the holy way of the Most High. You don't want to live the holy way of the Most High. She does. So she's not trapped. She can just leave your ass. She's not in bondage under you no more. You want to do some other shit. So you can't stop her. You no longer have that authority of the husband to be like trying to control her. You're not under bondage in such cases. Verse 24. Brethren, let every man wherein he is called therein abide in Yah. However you was called, abide in the Most High, whether to be single or to be married. Okay, if you desire to be married, be married. If you desire to be single, be single. Be unmarried. But according to this time is what he was saying. Because typically, you're not supposed to be unmarried, but the siege is about to happen. Okay, if you can handle it, being married in a hard time like this, okay. If you can't, then don't. All right. Verse 25. Now concerning virgins, I have no commandment of Yah. Yet I give my judgment as one that have obtained mercy of Yah to be faithful. So he said, I'm trusted by the Most High to tell you this thing, but it's not a commandment. So I'm going to give you a special case for the virgins. All right. So, virgins, it didn't say virgin women. Okay. It's virgins, whether women or men. Now to the virgins. Verse 26, I suppose, therefore, that this is good for the present distress. I say that it is good for a man so to be a virgin. Are you bound to a wife? Seek not to be loosed. Are you loose from a wife? Seek not a wife. All right, so he's talking to the virgins and stuff. Like the times is what's about to happen with the siege and stuff like that, and time's about to get hard. It's wise to not seek a wife knowing the times is hard, because you might not be able to have money to take care of her. It might be hard for you to take care of her. She's going to only be concerned about you taking care of her, and you're not going to be able to take care of her when you got to do the work of the Most High. So it's not going to be balanced out. You running from Romans, getting taxed by Romans and shit like that, not having enough money to feed your family, and you want to be married. So it's best to not be married. And that's a hard thing to say. But the times we living in, it's understandable. Don't seek a wife, because you ain't gonna be able to take care of her, and she's gonna be looking at you like, why are you not taking care of me and shit? And since she's gonna leave you anyway, So for the virgins, don't fuck yourself up like that. It's better to be married and know that your wife is gonna stay with you, and knowing that you can take care of her or whatever. So that it's not in vain that you lose your virginity. You lose your virginity in vain, knowing your wife gonna leave you. And people didn't know, like when I was with my first wife, Jenny Rose Panner, I was a virgin according to the Torah standard. I was a virgin. I have not been with a woman since 2008. That was the last time I tried to be with a woman. We gave it a chance and it didn't work. She left me. I bought the marriage rings and everything, but she left me. So that was the last time I tried to be with a woman, 2008. Bought rose gold rings. Put the wedding band and the wedding bands and the wedding ring. So I bought all of that stuff. White gold, not rose gold, white gold. I put payments on that, the payment on it. And eventually she just left me, went back to New York, and never heard from her again. But I had these rings left over. I didn't know who to sell it to, pawn it, or nothing. I just gave them away. And whatever, But that was 2008. Her name was Andrea Grimes. All right, so whatever the case, so from 2008 all the way to 2014, I married a woman in 2014. So you're given a year time, because that's a betrayal of marriage promise. So she abandoned the vow. She abandoned the marriage vow. So I can now go back to being a virgin, or whatever the case, because she broke the vow. So it took me 1 year. After that 1 year, I'm a virgin again. So all the way from 2008 or 2009 to 2014, I married a woman, and she abandoned the marriage vow too. So I had to wait again to be a virgin again. Married another woman named Tanika. She abandoned the marriage vow. She didn't even make a marriage vow. She abandoned my marriage vow, and she didn't even make marriage vows all the way. It's just crazy stuff going on, right? And then by abandoning your marriage vow, it's marriage that's happening. It's not just let's boyfriend and girlfriend and shit. You're making vows and promises to be together forever and shit. And you breaking your vows of being together forever. So you're hurting me and you're hurting the Creator together. We're not getting married in the name of Jesus. We're getting married in the name of the Most High Yah. So you're hurting the true Creator. You're playing with the vows by abandoning them. So you're killing yourself. So the last one, yeah, abandon the marriage vows. And so what happens is what? You go back to being a virgin again after a year. So that's how the Most High saved you. He saves you from when the women are treacherous and they break their promises and then run away to be with someone else and shit like that. Or just run away from you. Really, women never run away to be single. Oh, I'm leaving you to stay single. No, women leave to just be with somebody else or be with a bunch of men. Like she want to be a hoe or some shit. It just look like she's single. You know, she just want to be up under other arms of men. So yeah, it's not just she just gonna leave you like that. Stupid. She got other dicks to suck. So in a case like that, the Most High looks out for the man that's a virgin and restores him back to virginity when the wife treacherously leave him like that. So yeah, I'm still a virgin. I just kept trying and shit. I want to try again, keep trying again and shit, and women keep leaving me and fucking me up. So it's stupid, right? So that's what's going on here. A little side note for you. Verse 27 again. Are you bound to a wife? Seek not to be loose. Are you loose from a wife? Seek not a wife. All right? Because these times were hard. The times that they were living in were hard, you know. They had to run for their lives. And they were getting killed and all kind of stuff like that. People, the new Muslims or whatever, like Islam just came out 70 AD. 70 AD Islam came out, I believe. Yeah, around 70 AD Islam came out, and they were killing people, Hebrew Israelites that were running from Jerusalem from the Roman siege. And when those who escaped the Romans got caught by the Muslims, and if they didn't convert into Islam, they got killed. They chopped their ankles off, hung them up, ripped the babies out their stomach, dashed them against stones. They were just killing them and shit for not converting into Islam. That's how Islam became great. They were just killing people and shit. It didn't happen because it was like, you just know this is the most trustworthy, you know, belief system in the world. It's not a trustworthy belief. They conquered over death, just killing people. That's it. I'm going to kill you if you don't do it. If you don't bow down to this rock, I'm going to kill you. So everybody in the world bowing down to a rock, or else they're going to get killed and shit. No, I'm not bowing down to that shit. It's not a lie. It's a lie. It's not true. Verse 28. But, and if you marry, you have not sinned. And if a virgin marry, she has not sinned. Okay? Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh, but I spare you. Okay? That's all he's saying. But, and if you marry, you have not sinned. You're a virgin, you married. You're not in sin if you marry. And if a woman that's a virgin marry, she has not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh. You're going to be looking for money, food, and shit like that. Now, my thing would be, if you have an agreement and an understanding towards each other, because this was the early times. There was no such thing as America at that time. There was no such thing as America at that time, so you wasn't really seeing women step up like men had to step up. In America, women be having to step up like men. Now, what we can do is bring it back to a table and come to an agreement. You have a virgin husband and a virgin wife. You know where we live at. We live in America. We know women can get jobs. Women make more money than men and shit out here. That we understand how the shit go. The traditional rules is fucked up now. It's reversed. Women outweigh the men now. So understanding that, we can come to the table, the relationship table, put everything on the table, put our plans together, and we can work this plan back. You know? And if you're willing to agree to your plan that you have, okay, you can get married. Because then you might be able to reverse the trouble in the flesh. So your wife have more money than you. You have no money or little money. Your wife rich as shit. She can bounce you back. You get married, she help you bounce back. Bam. I ain't put your husband back on his feet because he's not lazy, he's not a bum. You help him, you bounce him back on his feet. Now he can generate money just as the husband. Even though you rich, you can bounce him back to be that traditional husband. It don't matter how much bread you winning. You the breadwinner, he the bread. Don't matter about that. What matters is your husband bouncing back, and that's it. He able to be a man. He can still put towards things. He can still get things for you. He can still make surprise do surprise things for you. He's still serving the Most High. He's not turned away from the Most High, and he still has that integrity of being a man, working for his own and stuff like that. And it also helps you. Like, it's a beautiful thing to see. Even though I make more money than my husband, I'm rich as shit. My husband's still out there grinding, making money still. Like, it still it's good to see, good, beautiful and shit. But in the case where a woman is not rich, she out there making money, he out there making money, and they're able to put it together, and you got a good husband to take the money that y'all make for the family and be able to make right decisions with it, regardless, you know. Or still, the woman has nothing, the man has something, you know. Or it's just, and then also the man has nothing. You know, it's just crazy. It could be any kind of way. You could have trouble, but it depends. So if you put that relationship table up, and y'all put everything on the table, which y'all can work with, which y'all can do, okay, you know. But he spare you, you know, because you will have trouble. You're going to be focused on each other so much and maintaining each other and taking care of each other so much that you might forget the Most High because of the troubles. But if life is okay and good, you're not going to have any trouble. You got inheritance, you got food all the time. You're not worried about where, you know, your next meal and your next paycheck. You're not worried about all that stuff. So you can basically focus on each other and all the Most High. I know my wife good, so I can focus on what I need to do for the Most High. It's not a moment of peace at this time. You're running for your life at this time, so you worried about your wife and your children getting hurt and harmed. The Most High need you to do this and that, but you know it's going to be a mess. So, but still go for it. If you're burning, go for it. Just understand what you're dealing with and know what you need to put on the table, what you're working with, and what type of, you know, just know. Okay, don't be stupid. Just know. Don't get into a relationship knowing that things is hard for this person and you want to be in a relationship with them anyway. Know that I can't do this because what I'm working with and what you're working with, da 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 da. Verse 29. But this I say, brothers, the time is short. It remains that both they that have wives be as though they had none. Why is he saying that? But this I say, brethren, the time is short. What time is short? It's not that he said that shit. The time is short. What time? What you mean? The siege of Jerusalem was about to happen. The time is short. They about to siege Jerusalem. You about to run for your lives. You're about to be all over the world, scattered everywhere, hiding in other people's worlds. You're not going to have food, shelter. You're not going to have inheritance. You're going to be trying to survive, trying to figure out where you can get your next meal from, trying to figure out where you can get your next job at to make $1 and shit. It ain't even going to be shekels no more. Y'all going to lose everything. Y'all going to run for your lives to survive. So the time is short. You're about to lose your inheritance. And you're going to be out there grinding to survive. It remains that both they that have wives, it remains that both they that have wives be as though they had none. All right. So basically, you have a wife, but it should be as though you had none. It's going to be like that anyway. You know? You got a wife, but it's like you don't have a wife. You can't take care of her. And they that weep, as though they weep not. And they that rejoice, as though they rejoice not. And they that buy, as though they possessed not. You got to hide and shit. You got to hide. So you got to be acting like you're not crying and shit, but you crying like a motherfucker. You rejoicing sometimes here and there, happy about certain things and stuff like that. You're going to have to act like you're not happy. Things like that, because other people and what's going on around you. People gonna catch you and shit. They gonna catch on to you and stuff. So no matter if you happy, sad, this, that, the third, whatever the case is going on, you gotta act. You gotta put your poker faces on. Verse 31. And they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passes away. All right. So you can't be so focused on this world. You gotta be focused on the world after this, because it's a fucked up world. You can't live. Why? Pregnant man emoji and shit. You niggas want to be pregnant and shit out here. It's not a real place no more. And they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passes away. You need to live. You need to get through life. Okay, just get through life and live, but focus on the heavenly things. Don't get too carried away and shit. Meaning, always be ready to let this life go. Don't be too attached to it. Verse 32. But I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried cares for the things that belong to the Lord, how he may please the Lord. Right? But he that is married cares for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. All right? And that, yes, that's just always going to be the case. That's always gonna be the case. All right. But in America, we come so far in America where women, you have all kinds of special cases. Women can take care of themselves and stuff like that. So you want to be real. You want to be, like I said, the relationship table. Be careful. Special cases and stuff. Nobody want to be alone. It's still not good for man to be alone. So put everything on that relationship table, what you can deal with, what you're willing to compromise with, what you're willing to accept, not accept, and see if you can go through it. You know, you might got a woman doing OnlyFans and shit like that. It depends on what she's willing to compromise, what you willing to compromise, if you can make that work or not. She might be willing to compromise certain things. You might be willing to deal with certain things. Okay? And then you can be married. You just understand, you put everything on the table. It's a funny ass relationship because where we at, but at least we married. At least we married. But she's just, you know, it could be crazy as shit like that. But at least you're married, because it's better to be married than to not be married, right? All right, so the verse 34. There is difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman cares for the things of the Lord, that she may be holy both in body and in spirit. But she that is married cares for the things of the world, how she may please her husband. All right? True. You worried about pleasing your husband, cooking meals, cooking dinners and stuff. But if you're not married, you worried about keeping your body holy and sacred and stuff like that. Okay? And this I speak for your own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you. Okay, to just say, like, don't be married and now you're feeling trapped up. Like, damn, now I can't get married and shit. Not to just put a snare upon you. I'm not saying this just to say this. I'm just saying this to make an example that you care for each other. When you get married, you care for each other. But if you're going to be running for your life and Roman's chasing you down, you're not going to be able to properly care for each other. Okay? But for that which is comely, and that you may attend upon the Lord without distraction. Yeah, you gotta take care of your wife, and the wife gotta take care of her husband. If you can't, it's gonna distract you. So you're too overly focused on taking care of them that you're not focused on the work of the Most High. But if any man think that he behaves himself uncomely towards his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age, and need so require, let him do what he will. He sins not, let them marry. Like I was saying. But if any, like, this is what I was saying in the age of conjugation video, or conjugality. But if any man think that he behaves himself uncomely towards his virgin, you just, okay, you can't hold yourself and stuff like that. You touching on her, stuff like you just ready now and shit. If she pass the flower of her age and needs so require, let him do what he will. He sins not. Okay. Let it be known. Hey, man, that's what flower mean. If she passed the flower of her age, she's now able to have a period. She is na'ara. She has the bat mitzvah. She now bleeds. She has a cycle. She's now able to be married. So, okay, now she can bleed. You can put your dick in her pussy. Fine, do what you want. Let him do what he will. Who gives a fuck? Let him do what he will. He sins not, you ain't sinning. Let him get married. It's marriage. It's not just random sex. Okay, you got your betrothed wife or whatever. Y'all got issues and shit going on out here. Fuck it, man. We gonna be together any fucking way. She bleeding and shit. Fuck it. If you just like can't hold yourself, fuck it, man. Just shit. She sucking your dick. Fuck it. Just put it in her pussy. She bleeding already. Fuck it. Put it in her pussy. Fuck it. Fuck it, man. Nigga, like suck my dick. I don't give a fuck. Who cares? Let them marry. So all that strange stuff I was saying wasn't strange. Okay, it's your wife. Who cares, man? Nevertheless, he that stands steadfast in his heart, having no necessity, but has power over his own will, and has so decreed in his heart that he will keep his virgin, does well. Meaning, okay, if you have a virgin wife and you're saying, you know what, we're going to run for our lives because the siege of Jerusalem is coming. We're going to run for our lives. But what we're going to do is still not do anything. We're going to hold ourselves and focus on the work of the Most High. So now you got to focus on metaphysical life now. Dream sex and shit. Life went from physical to dreams and shit. You and your wife, you're betrothed to be married. Y'all just focus on dream sex and shit now. So whatever, you got to ease yourself thinking about your wife. She got to, thinking about you and shit. Getting horny and stuff. Got to ease herself. So y'all easing yourselves thinking about each other, but you're not having sex. Y'all still both virgins. Because what's going to happen is you're going to flush anyway. The man is. So whatever. It's crazy, right? You have a wife, but all you do is use the bathroom. Use the bathroom periodically. I use the bathroom from time to time, but that's it. I don't have sex with nobody. I'm still betrothed to be married. So it's not counted. Masturbation is not even in the bracket. Y'all put that in the bracket. It's not in the bracket. Y'all call it masturbation. It's just easing yourself. So you live a life of easing yourself. You just masturbate, as you call it. But you don't have sex with anybody. It's still considered virginity. You're still a virgin and shit. No, there's no different. You're a virgin. Your dick is not inside somebody. It's about the liquid exchange. A woman's liquid and juices is not on you or in you. And a man's liquid and juices is not on you or in you to make you become one flesh, to make you bind together. Nobody's in you. You're just using betrothal, and easing yourself. That's it. Metaphysical sex and shit like that. So, because you're running for your life. She went this way, you went that way, you still connected type shit. Or y'all went together, but y'all still connected and y'all shaking and baking, flaking. I don't know who, this is my sister and shit. Lying and shit. You doing anything to get through and to survive and shit like that. Because you in now you in Nigeria. You in Ghana and shit like that. Fuck, I'm in Ghana. I was home. Now I'm in Ghana surviving, running from Romans and shit. Now you gotta play the people and shit because they might fuck you up and shit. So you trying to stay together. Or whatever. Verse 38. So then he that gives her in marriage does well, but he that gives her not in marriage does better. That's for the fathers. The wife is bound by the Torah as long as her husband lives. But if her husband be dead, she is at liberty to be married to whom she will, only in Yah. Alright? Alright, so this is something for everyone here. You have your wife, you can keep her, or whatever, because she's a virgin, but also the fathers, for the fathers, if you give your daughter, okay, you do well. He that gives her not in marriage, do better. Saying you can keep your daughter to be sacred for the work of the Most High, and things is about to go down out here. Because before we even got to this point, he was saying the time is short. All right, the time is short. Jerusalem is about to be compassed about with soldiers. So he's giving you a new instruction. Okay, he wouldn't just say this. Okay, the wife is bound by the law, by the Torah, as her husband lives. But if her husband be dead, she is at liberty to be married to whom she will, only in Yah. So this is the different one. Or this can go both ways. If you are under the law of Rome, okay, so long as your husband live, you are under the law of Rome. But if her husband be dead, you are at liberty to be married to whom you will, only in the Most High Yah. All right? So you serve the Most High Yah, you still with your husband, you're bound by your husband, and you're bound by the law of the Romans, But if your husband dies, okay, then you can go be another man's, wife or whatever. That's in the Most High Yah. So, and also the same way, if your man is for serving the Most High Yah, you're bound by the Torah. You must follow the Most High Yah with your husband, so long as he's alive. But if he dies, you're free to go do whatever you want to do. Be married to someone only in the Roman situation, because ain't nobody over here gonna marry you. You ain't no servant of the Most High. Ain't gonna marry you. Who you? Rome? You follow the Roman gods and shit. Christ in them. Fuck that. Go to Christ people and shit. Don't come over here. It's gonna be both ways. Verse 40. But she is happier if she so abide after my judgment, and I think also that I have the spirit of Elohim. So the personal person he's talking about. But she is happier if she so abide after my judgment. Who is she and shit? If she so abide after my judgment, and I think also that I have the spirit of the Most High Yah, or Elohim. So, whoever he was talking to, it was a she. So this is what she should do, because this is personal now. Oh, well, so long as her husband's still alive, she's bound by the law and her husband. So it's just getting personal and stuff. But it also, through the personal letter, we can give each other general understandings of how things could be done or should be done in similar situations of the person he's writing to here. Some woman. All right. So I gave it to you. That's why I just said some of the things he say are hard to be understood, because he's not writing to you. He's writing to people's special cases and special situations. So he could be flipped. One verse could be talking about one thing. The next verse could be talking about something different. So he could be giving you many different types of instructions and stuff, and you could make it flow, but it's not supposed to flow like that, you know. So that's why I'm saying this one is for this is for the fathers, and this is for this, and letting you know there's many different things he's saying. This is a letter to the church of Corinth, or the assembly of Corinth, the Kahali. But all of this, I wanted to say about the marriage is what you're really getting out of all this, right? Who do you put trust in? Who do I pin trust on? How do I, because you know that for the rich women, you know that there are women that are rich out here, but they have a hard time trusting someone. Who do you pin trust on, and how do you handle marriage and stuff like that? How do you do all of that stuff? It's letting you know here. How do you do all of that? It's all about who serves the Most High Yah, who has the good character in the Most High Yah, and what you can work with. If you're bound to people or bound to a man that don't serve the Most High, you're not really bound for real. You can just leave. It's not really counted as marriage. It's just counted as a civil union. All right, it's just counted as a civil union. But if you if you find somebody that you really love or really can be with that serve the Most High Yah like you want to or like you do, leave that man. You can leave that other man that's don't serve the Most High. You can. You're not bound. That's what you need to understand. So who do you put trust in? That person. You're not bound by this other person. Go to the person you can trust. Go over there, hey, and let them know. Yeah. So after all of this, you know that you're going to have all kinds of confusion, all kinds of ups and downs and stuff like that. Struggling to feed yourself, struggling to feed your wife, your children. If you already got a wife and children, you know what I'm saying? Don't try to leave and stuff like that. Stay with them. But, if things get hard, split up, people snap, Put your heart to the Most High so that he can guide you right, no matter what happened to you. Stay with the Most High, no matter what happened to you, so that you can be prepared for whatever may happen to you. All right? So it's better not to touch a woman in these times. It's better not to, open the heart of a woman. It's better not to awaken the love of a woman to love you. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, because you could be needing a wife. You could be feeling it. Let every man. So, like, you want to be married, right? You want to, open the heart of a woman. I'm going to clean it up for you. You want to open the heart of a woman or whatever the case, and you want to have sex with her because ain't nobody out. It's just crazy. You in America. Everybody doing OnlyFans and shit like that. You looking for that one good woman whose heart you can touch and shit at least. But to avoid fornication, just marry her. Okay? Just marry her. So, but it's better not to do it. It's better not to do it because she an OnlyFans or she a porn star. It's better not to do it. But if you burn, just do it. If you burn, it's better to be married because it's hard for you to tame yourself. Like me, I'm alone because I know there's a lot of women out here that do whatever they gotta do to survive. Even though I'm willing to put things on the table and see what we can work with, still I understand there's typically majority of the women are out here just trying to survive, doing sex all over the place and stuff like that. So, and whose mind aren't in the right space, so it's hard for me to open up to them or whatever. It won't work. So I stay to myself. It's easier for me to stay to myself, knowing that there's not many women out here to marry. But at the same time, it's hard for me to stay to myself because I desire to be married. That's my desire. All right. It's not good. I don't know, man. With me, it's a little bit different. So I never had my mother in my life and stuff like that. So it's like the need of a woman's love is like I'm a dead person, and the need of a woman's love is beyond the need. It's like it can bring me back to life on some Snow White mess. You know, trying to come back to life. I'm dead as shit. Never been loved by a woman. Just a woman's love will bring me back to life. Keep me pushing. Also, it's like why keep dragging when I can just die? Unless there's a woman out here that can love me, then I can keep pushing. So it's kind of petty to keep using me or use a man that never had the love of a woman or never had his mother. It's petty to use him because he don't have anything to fall back on if a woman fuck him up. A woman fuck him up, he can't run to his mother to get revived. He can't run to his mother to get bounce back or nothing like that. He just continue dying and shit. He don't have no food in the cabinets and shit. Mommy ain't leave no food in the cabinets for me and shit. This woman broke my whole heart and shit. No food in the cabinets. So that's why at the end of this, it's all special about Kylie and I. Kylie is my sister. So before we were born into earth, it's just me and her. No parents. So it's like she's like my mother. That's how she has been. You know, even though she's just my very, very big sister, meaning she's my elder sister all the way. Like, I'm 3, she's 12. I guess that's not really that far away when you get up there in the age, like 50 years old or something. I guess it's not that, but it is though. It's not, but it is. So, 3 and 12. She's like my mom, my mother. For real, like my mother for real. But not having my mother on earth, you end up going back to what it was. You know, your mission was still a failure. You couldn't find your mother, and your mother still don't love you and shit like that, or something like that, or whatever. So you still empty like you was before you was born. You know, so who do you pin trust on? You know, it's like who do you go back to? Who can you go back to? Who I was with the first time? Kylie Jenner, Michaela. You know, she's the only person I was with, the only person I had when the war started. So it's the only person I still got. So that's why I had the meta encounter with her early this morning when I was asleep, and the Most High was letting me know and letting her know while we was in the food court. It was a guy over there trying to like win her, and then it was me, and I woke up and I was about to teleport. So I woke up and I, was talking to her, and I was able to talk in my right mind, because when you're in different meta worlds, you're bound by the spirit of that world that you're in. When you wake up and you have the power of the Most High, you can bend that meta world. You can bend it by saying you can now freely think. You can do as you please and stuff like that because you're awake now. So it's like bending water or something, or having a bubble suppressed under the water. It bubbles up the water, and bends it. Anyway, so I was telling her Pinterest or something like that. She was sitting at some little stool or something at some little restaurant spot, and she was like, "How I'm supposed to?" She was asking me something. I was like, "Pinterest," and I'm like, "Yeah, this is who you pin trust on. Who can you trust? This is who you pin trust on and shit." That like Pinterest. I said just this and this, and giving her a plan, and she was understanding fully. But it's always that wake up thing. When you wake up, you forget. When you wake up, you're busy instantly. When you wake up, so you forgot everything that you just encountered. It can happen like that. You could be so busy in your life, or whatever the case could happen as soon as you wake up, that you occupied with something else that you forgot what that meta encounter was. But that's what it was, It's always good to like try to be in a quiet space when you sleep and when you wake up, so that when you wake up, you don't wake up abruptly. You can wake up and can recall the things that just happened, so you can try to take down and jot down whatever it was you experienced, so that you can like try to connect the dots later, because it could be a message to you, a prophecy or something the Most High is giving you. But that's what it was about Michaela. Between her and us, we were supposed to be together. Still, same thing. We're supposed to be together. And I was telling her this is how you can tell. The pin trust, this is how you can tell. Gave her a way to tell how to trust me. So it'll reveal itself eventually. It sounds confusing, right? Because it's a lot of people and obstacles in the way. So I'm sounding stupid and stuttering over myself. But between the stutters and the stupidity, all of the whatever, all through all of this bull crap I'm saying, It's to block out the people that's not really supposed to hear this. And then the stuff that you're supposed to hear, who it's for, you will hear it. Through all of the clutter and all of the stupid shit and all of the stuttering, you get it. You got what I was saying or whatever. The Pinterest. I gotta sound stupid as shit now just to get a clear message across. That's dumb as shit now. And then what the fuck? Now you just forgot what I said and shit. You know, so it's all of that. You want to try to scroll the video back and all. Let me go back about 2 minutes. What he said. I'm gonna say splash, and then, you know, clutter up the message, talking like True be in a video like, yeah, like she be talking and she don't be like, what? It drowned you right the fuck out. You know, now your brain is drowned out. You forgot what was going on and all that shit. So yeah, but yeah, that's how I gotta do this now. Kind of stupid, right? Stuttering over my words and slurring and stuff. I was wondering why I was doing that. Now I know why. Cause the message that I'm saying, I got a broader secret audience. So I have a secret audience, but the secret audience is a broader audience. And so in order for the person to get it right, you know, I got to say it certain kinds of ways. Yeah, so I guess my sister, it's still the same thing, nothing new. It's not like, really for me, it's nothing new to say. It's like I already know I'm supposed to be on the Kardashians, not just to be on the Kardashians, because I'm supposed to be with Kylie. Kylie is my sister. She's like my mother too. Meaning before we came to Earth, she's my mother. You know, like my mother. Now that I'm on Earth, yeah, I'm older than her, so it looks stupid as shit. That's why she was saying in other videos, she was talking about, she's always talking to Kendall is a substitute in talking to me. So Kendall is me. So when you go way back to the Kardashian episodes when they were young and stuff like that, it's not Kendall and Kylie. It's me and Kylie, you know? So that's what you were saying. That's why she was saying, why is she going to be a fashion model and this, that, and the third, and she going to think that she better than everybody and stuff? You know, think she extra grown and stuff. It wasn't her fussing about Kendall. It was her fussing about me. Like, I'm born first. And I'm this, that, and the third. Now I'm going to think I'm grown and stuff, and she can't take care of me or something like that. So by the time everything gets seasoned up and everything get prepared, now Kylie is like extra reserved. She's different the way she present herself in the camera now. She's different the way she present herself in the camera now. So by the time things get to where it's at, we all mature and stuff like that. He's going to be acting extra mature than me, and I can't take care of him now. And I'm not going to be that mother figure towards him anymore and stuff, because look, I serve the Most High, and I'm going to look at her when the time comes, I'm going to look at her like this perverse woman that don't serve the Most High. It's not going to pull me towards her to be like mom. It's not going to pull that same energy towards me. I mean, it's not going to have that same energy in me to pull towards her. I'm going to be more afraid of her because the life that she's living. So she's afraid of that stuff. Why'd you going to have him be a model and shit? So she's mad because the life that she got to live and the life that I'm living. It would have been better that, you know, stuff like that. But it's more like we should both have the same life, the same role model life, the same real model life of being holy people, holy figures. You know, but because they take advantage of women out here, it's going to be hard for you to still be a holy figure without a man trying to still put you on OnlyFans or subject your life to something to where you got to do something to survive and shit. But there's always ways. You know, you could get on government assistance and you go to school and then get some small little nursing job and get a small little apartment somewhere. It's some kind of way. It's always ways to do it. You just got to be dedicated to it. But when people block that path for you, you think it's not a path. Like, how come nobody told me this before? You know, that type of thing. Nobody told me that I could have just did this and did that and did this. I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying? People block your path because they want you to do what they want you to do. Same with me. Blocking my path and shit. Like, it would be easy for me to get in the industry and be an actor or some shit, or just be in the industry. But they're blocking my path to know how to actually do it. Whereas other people, they're not blocking the path. They just letting them right in the door and shit. Because they know how. Or they know certain people. So yeah, to Kylie, that's what's going on, you know. How do I get back to you the right way? Who do I pin trust on? So it's all about that. Because if you don't trust someone, you won't open up. You know, you won't give them a chance again. Nothing's going to progress and things like that. Who do you pin trust on instead of playing games with? So who do I pin trust on instead of play games with? Me. You put trust on me. It's still me. You know, I was the one that popped up to even show you that. So it's still me. It's no one else. And yeah, but I gotta watch these old episodes because I need to know how she was feeling before she became more reserved and not outspoken. Like she's not outspoken anymore. She's well reserved. She's careful about the things she say. She's speaking riddles more now. She's quiet more now. She's not really like, she don't act out more. She don't act out anymore and stuff like that. So I got to go back to the old videos when she was young and a teenager to understand what she was trying to say to me. Because those are the times where she really had to say things to me. But I never watched the Kardashians. I don't know what episodes is which, and I don't want to sit there from season 1 of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, season 1. I got to go through all of it just to see. That's going to take my whole life, man. But I don't got a place to live. I don't got Wi-Fi for it. I don't got no comfortability to really sit down, and I don't know. How am I going to do that? I'm not in a position to. But I don't know. I'm interested now, but at first I wasn't interested. But now that I'm interested, I want to know, because what does she have to say to me? And what was, her and the relationship between her and Kendall, like what was she saying to me through using Kendall to say to me? So I can know what to do. Like something that she's telling me to do, I never watched to know to do. So I'm still sitting in a corner somewhere not knowing where to move or how to move because I didn't watch what my sister said. Do this, do that. Don't do this, don't do that. She could have told me some secret stuff and something that only I would have caught on to, but I didn't watch the shows yet. So maybe she got to do it. I guess she got to do it or whatever. It's like a child. It's like you're the mother of the children. You have to guide your son until he gets of age to be a man. So me, I'm in a grown man body, but I'm always being puppeted by somebody because it's like it's hard. It's hard to really explain. It's like I'm always being puppeted by someone. I'm not grown still. I just serve the Most High, and people tell me what to say or give me what to say. I'm not really my own person yet. I don't know how to stand on my own. So my life is all about who's going to tell me what to do or who's going to lead me the right way. Even though me being a grown man, it's hard for me to have somebody come out of nowhere and tell me what to do that don't serve the Most High. I'm still going to reject them. But it's like, who's out here that serve the Most High that can lead me the right way? I'm still like that. Like, who's going to guide me? I never have I'm still that type of child mind. Who's going to guide me the right way? So whoever gets in tune with me, gets in touch with me, now I can think type of thing. I can think now. I can think to move this way, that way. That's how I am. I'm that innocent and that pure and that young of a soul that you can just move me and shit. I'm not somebody that can move on my own or have my own agenda. I never had my own agenda. So I'm still just sitting still. People thinking I'm supposed to move because I look grown. No, I only move by people. People only move me my whole life. I'm a child. I've always been a child. 3 years old. So you got to move me. Like now I was going to think about like I need to get my hair braided and washed. I need to get my hair washed and braided. So I wanted to thinking like who can I don't know, like who could I talk to? Who can I get, like looking for a hair braid is like looking for a mommy or something like that. Like who I need a new mommy and shit. So before a woman put her hands and fingertips in my scalp, like I gotta is like mommy shopping or like going mother shopping, like hot mask behind hair breeders, like, oh, she's my new hairstylist or whatever. The whole time I'm saying she's my mommy and shit. 3-year-old in a grown man body. I'm a little boy, a little 3-year-old sitting in a grown man body bag looking for a mommy and shit. Is the best poker face you ever seen. A 40-year-old man. A 3-year-old inside a 40-year-old man is the best poker face you ever seen and shit. You never gonna tell, but the whole time it's like I'm looking for a mommy for real. The woman that can see me. The woman that can see me is the one. But then it's like I had the meta encounter and it's still Kylie, so it was like, well, I just need a hair braided in. Cause I don't know what to do. Alright, so with that said, I'm gonna say Shabbat Shalom. I gave you my story. I gave you some updates. I gave you something for the Sabbath, and I gave you something for the rest of the week. Or rather for the rest of the month and next month. A direction, which is I could give you a more strict direction. Dune 3 is like the new movie that's gonna come out. It's a zombie movie, and so the zombie Timothy or whatever is in this movie with Zendaya. So this movie started with between Zendaya and Timothy. So Zendaya and Timothy is together. Now it's Timothy and Kylie. Stupid. You're just trying to get close to the guy that's got the life because you're trying to fight the guy that got the life because you the zombie king and shit. So the zombie king or the demon king is like they're ready to go to war with the pure side. So he's the king of the evil side. Timothy, king of evil side. And then I'm in charge of pure side, the king of pure side. So it's between us and shit. But we have people on both sides. Zendaya is, one of the people in charge of pure side. So she's the representative. She's out there, representing. And then you got Kylie, the big sister, the elder sister of the king of the pure side. Like my mother. So you all up under her and shit, knowing shit. You all up under her. You early as shit. Because if you can destroy her, you can destroy me, knowing I need a mother. Like, shit that you're not supposed to know early. Like, damn, how you know all this stuff? If you can fuck her up, you can fuck me up and shit, because she's my mother. She guides me and shit like that. But I got the Most High, which you wasn't expecting. I got the Most High for real. The Most High is really because I'm still a man. So the Most High's within me. I help her. We help each other. Like, so it's like, dang, it didn't work and shit with the little worm shit you was trying to do and shit. But that demon zombie smell just start to come. So I'm like, okay, that Dune 3 shit, that's what that is. That Dune 3 Timothy shit is coming out. They talk like regular people until they, on the camera, really say what they gotta say, and they start growling and shit. The demon language, the sacred demon language and shit start roaring and shit. So, whatever, man. They never paint it right anyway. It's just some line cross. It's just a bunch of line crossing shit and war between pure side and evil side. Whatever. But yeah, man. With that said, I'm gonna let it go. Shabbat shalom.